up, grab a seat, and start your day with news from the great beyond. Here to trivialize your earthly life is a nerd boy who writes songs. He thinks for news to which the best response is, why would I care? We're there. So welcome to the Inter-Iterational News Hour.
Hi, hello, I'm Finn, but you can feel free to call me Scrimbiptleton Scrambopulus for short. I've been a bit radio silent for a while, so I just wanted to come give a little update on my affairs, and I love to generate unreasonable amounts of work for myself, so I turned what could have been a very simple text post into an elaborate news show that absolutely no one is going to watch all the way through. Except Kevin. Everyone else who's currently commenting to prove you watched it too, say hi, Kevin. And you can comment that, too, if you want. I doubt Kevin will be able to hear you say it out loud. So, yeah, where have I been? What's going on? Well, in short, I've been at home. In long, I've been at 3147 South. I'll refresh everyone's memory on what all has happened in the Finematic universe thus far this year. First, on April 22nd, Screaming Skeletons performed their historic April Fool's Day themed gig that was actually Easter themed, just 8 days before the release of the Metathesiophobia follow-up EP, Sketches from Iteration 7. In that EP, we got to hear from Wally just after the events of Metathesiophobia, before getting some extra scattered tales from Iteration 7. The original tracklist of Sketches from Iteration 7 also included 2 additional songs. In one, we would hear a chapter of the story of Soul and Sage, 2 kids who find a mystic artifact from another dimension and embark on a quest from the great beyond. Once I decided that this story would not work well in song, I set to work writing a series of comics about their tale that you can hopefully expect to begin reading sometime next year. The other scrapped song was a precursor to modern hieroglyphics about the intrinsic value of life. This song has since been made available for free on Bandcamp. A month or so after the release of the EP, in June, 1T Teller briefly took over the Screaming Skeletons Instagram account and began to usher us into a new, much redder era. This era's beginning was then solidified by the release of the first single from the forthcoming Screaming Skeletons album. The release of that single was pretty much the last normal thing that happened for old Scrim Scram. Look, I want to be very frank. And despite the fact that I can't, because I am Finn and not very frank, I will tell you that things have been a bit wonky and rough for the old Mr. Skeletons the past few months. I mean, I, Finn, have been doing alright, but this project has taken a challenging turn. The single came out and brought with it a single release show at Vino's, and this show felt quite bittersweet in that every member of my little band knew that it would most likely be our last show with our drummer, Will, for a long time. He was moving far off to college at the end of the summer, so we knew that we did not have many shows left, if we even had more after this one. And so, we played the show to the smallest crowd we'd ever had, and with a song I wrote on my best friend's piano during a sleepover at the beginning of the school year, I said goodbye to an extremely important chapter of my life. Will is not just one of the most talented musicians I've ever met, but is an extremely important friend to me, whose appearance in my life marked the start of a much happier time. So as he leaves, so too does that happier time, that era. And so I spent a lot of my time during the summer just trying to make the most of any time I had with my friends. And because of that, my very realistic plans of getting singles out in quick succession and putting an album out in the fall began to look more and more unrealistic as the days of my summer were rapidly spent on either large depressive episodes or meaningful time with my friends. So what is the deal with the next album? Where does that leave us? In truth, creation of Scrim Scram 4, or Scrimscraform, as 20th Century Fox would call it, has been a bit slow. It's been slowly creeping towards the finish line for the past few months. That production speed is also stunted by my friend Oliver Lorgans having left for college. Oliver normally mixes and helps produce my music, so as he settles into college and learns how to navigate his time there, the post-production of any Screaming Skeletons music is dramatically slowed. So here's a basic roadmap at this point for when everything should be happening. On September 29th, the second single for the next album, On the Process of Healing, will be released. Then, on October 29th, you will see the release of the third single. The album will launch on December 6th, and hopefully sometime around then we'll play a concert of some sort while William is back home for Christmas break. Keep in mind that those dates are subject to being minorly changed, but no matter what, something will come out on October 29th, and I will try my very hardest to ensure that the album is released before year's end. So yeah, that's where everything is. We've got a comic that's been scripted to hopefully come out next year. A lost track from Sketches from Iteration 7 has been made available on Bandcamp, and we're on track to release Indifference, 12 Tales from Iteration 6 in December. As Hand in Hand Records disbands and Screaming Skeletons returns to a more independent operation as it was, in the early years, I want to try and experiment with some new directions and really push this whole thing hard before I'm out of high school and forced to kind of start a real life. My life has changed so much over the course of the almost 4 years that I've been running this project, and I would love to be able to keep running it as my life changes forevermore through adulthood. So if you have any ideas or suggestions, or you would like to offer help of any sort, just let me know. It would be greatly appreciated, and it really genuinely means a lot to me. Also, side note, I'm not ever going to replace William, but if you know any drummers in Little Rock who would like to stand in for him while he is gone, just DM me. It would be really cool to be able to keep playing shows despite a member of our band being missing. Yeah, that's all. Thanks for watching this, Kevin. I hope I haven't bored you too badly with this thing, and I will see you tomorrow. Oh, and by the way, Screaming Skeletons are what God die.